Today's episode is about AI, psychology of porn, and our sanity. So, Sichach, how do you think your sexual preferences have been affected by the content you consume vis-a-vis your algorithm?
Is it my algorithm or okay? I think the process to having an algorithm is quite iterative, right? So
Yeah.
okay, I think your sexual preferences are really affected by the media you consume because like if 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 you only see a certain type of girl on Instagram, yeah, you are likely to conform to that type of girl in real life. Do you know Liv Bori? I don't know if her name is pronounced like that. She has her podcast. It's called Win 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 podcast. Yeah? Maybe I can link the podcast here. She has this idea of Moloch. So the first time I saw her describing this idea, she used something called the beauty wars, right? So like you take an image, you take a photo, you like the photo enough, and you're like, oh, I'm going to share this photo on Instagram, right? And then you add a filter to that photo. And now the filters work in strangers because like first it was just color. These days they are just slightly, yeah? Just like the
Yes.
size of your eyes. They're like, they are just, you don't look like you have filtered photos in real life. And okay, so this is her idea of Moloch where people are like, no one wants to do this, yeah. But if you don't put filters on your photos, yeah, you are losing out on an audience online. Right now, everyone is putting filters, and no one wants to put filters. Yeah? It's counterintuitive. And moral of the story, yeah, you don't meet Instagram girls on the ground, yeah. And even talking of like what it affects is the standard of beauty, like that the expectation of beauty. Yeah? It's quite visual, yeah? And for some reason, I think I think girls do better, right, on IG than men.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think they do better on all dating apps.
Girls do better in dating apps.
Yeah, by far. You're the first girl who's probably doing worse. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you are mean. Lakini sawa.
No, you've exposed yourself. No, girls do better on dating apps. Yeah? Okay, a lot of concepts, even before we go to the algorithm. This is, I think, and I think all social apps are dating apps on a long enough timeline,
Yes,
including
I
LinkedIn.
agree.
All social apps are dating
LinkedIn,
apps.
bro. You would hit someone up through LinkedIn.
Yeah, well, like,
Like, I'm manager of so and so. I saw
yeah,
your
so
picture.
I laugh with the next line is, you could give me a job or I can give you a hand job, and then
Hey, no,
at
man.
least you are not getting hired, but at least you'll get on top of something. Right.
Oh my God. Hey, sawa, sawa.
Okay, so I think on a long enough timeline, all apps are dating apps, yeah? But there are those ones which are specifically dating apps. So let's look at the dating economy to say for women, right? I understand you use Tinder, right? Because you've said like your success rate is.
Not said anything. You have assumed. I have used Tinder. I have used Bumble. Um, yeah, I've used those two.
Okay, so I'm familiar with Tinder, right? I'm that mainstream when it comes to apps. I'm familiar with Tinder, so
Yeah.
but I'm vanilla.
Tinder is so ghetto.
Okay.
Like, it's so ghetto. Like, I can tell you the DMs I've gotten from Bumble were way better than Tinder.
You should read some DMs later when we are getting done with the show. You should read us some DMs. But this is the
Yeah.
idea, right? Like I think statistically, let me check it up. But I think women swipe left. I think over 90% of the photos on over 90% of the photos they see. Right? Two, the reason I think maybe you feel like men do better is the specific men that do well. it's an issue with hypergamy. So, like, hypergamy is this idea that women across competence domains, women will want to date someone who is equal or above them in that competence domain, and men would like to date someone who is equal or below them in a competence domain. So whatever domain it is, even if we say it's age, perceived attractiveness, economics, money, level of education. That's why on Tinder you go, like, when you have a master's, your chances double on Tinder if you write master's on level of education. As a man, as a woman, they have, right? Because a lot of men, like, you are now above them, so they don't prefer you as a sexual partner. Yeah, get this, for you, if you're working with me, I am the best thing you could pull, right? But you are not the best. You are the one who will have me, because men are lazy. I'm
I genuinely think it's easier for men.
Yeah, because it's a buffet when you are a top 1% man. In that competition, for me, I'll have a lot of options, and I'm likely to pick the easiest one. It's not the best one, the easiest one to live with, I don't know if people pick the best one. Guys, in the comments, you can share that. Do you pick the best person to date or the easiest person to date? I'm not sure. Yeah. But for you, I think you're thinking like, okay, again, the competition for that caliber of man is too much, right? And I think, again, it's the hypergamy problem. Because to a lot of people, you are attractive. Yeah. So, like, I think, back to the algorithm, back to our dating site, so, like, and that's why I was saying there are no Instagram models in real life. And what happens, someone, let's say, DMs you on Instagram, right? I think people are, like, always disappointed. People are disappointed with, like, you make a date with a girl online, when they come, they are a person. They are not that image, right? And I think men have a visual problem, and I think, like, we really live visually, right? So always I think we should make a, what is it called, a scale, a catfish scale for people, right? Because that's what Instagram does, right? People only post their best pictures, and those pictures have been modified. They post their best moments, those moments have been modified, And I think, like, you expect, like, for example, if there's a certain hairstyle you had on a photo, when you show up, I expect you to come with that. Some part of me expects that. Right? Like, because I'm not thinking that it's a hairstyle, like, after 2 weeks I change. Because for men, we don't change, never. So next week you call me, I'll still be looking around the same. So in our minds, it doesn't click that it's just a hairstyle. It will change. So you come, I'm like, is it? And you see the disappointment on someone's face, like, what do you think you are getting? So there's that, like, I think it affects. I think the other maybe sites, I don't know. Do you want us to talk about Pornhub right now? Yeah. So
I genuinely, this would be my first question when we get to Pornhub. I'd love to know how people who subscribe to Pornhub, how Pornhub retrieves data from cookies, and then cookies from other sites, or, like, so that they can suggest to you which type of porn. Because you understand, like, if it's Facebook, if it's Meta, it's easy because there are social apps that are very vocal. It's about someone talking about something. But for Pornhub, it would be very interesting if it read cookies from, like, a bakery shop.
and
Would it
then
suggest
and then
porn, like,
they just suggest to you porn for in a, that's what you watch, bakery porn.
oh, see, I'm just
Okay.
okay. If someone does, it's okay. But
No,
it's
like,
like,
I'm genuinely asking, like,
No, it's like because when you subscribe to our website, they
Okay.
definitely there's third party cookies that
Yeah, I
like they
understand. Yeah,
borrow from. Yeah.
I understand, but I think it works different. Yeah, because I think Pornhub has the same model as, let's say, a Netflix, right?
Mm,
Like it
mm.
needs a cold start. A cold start is the initial prompts. Yeah?
Video.
Like
Yes.
the initial search, the initial near. So like it learns that, oh, I like, let's say, ebony, and then
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, do I like ebony in MILF, whatever category? Yeah? Which one am
Yes.
I watching most? I think a lot of sites have heat maps, like
Yes.
how long did I linger on a title before I clicked it, before I skipped it? How long did I watch a preview? Like things like that, yeah. And then they have
Yes.
the recommender system gathers this information,
Yes.
and then it starts suggesting. Yeah? So like, if I don't pick this, keep picking this. Yeah, it suggests that, yeah, over time. So like it knows, oh yeah, he likes this. This gets him on. So like that's what it suggests. The other thing I noticed, it's geographical. It's geographical.
Yes.
So like again, like there's a statistics by Pornhub where Kenyans watch BBW most.
They watch
BBW. That's the most searched in the, like, Kenyans consume that the most. Yeah,
just to Kenyan men.
we can't leave us behind. But
Yes.
yeah, like I think it's somewhere. Remind me to share it on,
In
on,
the
yes,
link.
yeah, in the description. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like I think it is geographical. So I think when someone, I can't remember the first time I accessed Pornhub, but I think when
Okay.
someone is Kenyan, yeah, they'd they are likely to find BB first. And then if it's not your preference, the weight of the ass reduces with each selection. So it most of these sites use recommender systems, right? I think even in the case of Tinder, I think Tinder is curious. It's a curious case, yeah. Because like it decides, okay, there's a cold start also on Tinder where you put your distance, the distance that you're willing to look for, put, like, you add your details, level of education, etc. These are factors that I'm sure, like, the people who are doing research in Tinder use. Yeah.
Yes.
So they are not likely to suggest to me someone who is not a graduate on Tinder.
Yes.
They are not
Yes.
likely to suggest to me someone who's not a graduate. They're likely to suggest to me someone who is closer to Nakuru, like, who almost fits my profile, but they are of the other gender, right? Someone who perhaps we share a hobby, things like that. But then I think also they look at how you swipe left and to which type of people you swipe left to. Yeah, it's. I think it's the same. Like it has the cold start and then it refines your picks, because there was a time I used
Mm.
to get the same type, yeah, of girl. I'm straight, so it's always women, 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 the same type of women. And actually
Can
funny thing,
I
yeah,
can I ask you a question? When you started using Tinder, how many people were you suggested that were white? Like the race is white.
I think one. I only saw one and they were in Nairobi.
So for me, when I started, I didn't understand why Tinder was really suggesting white men. But I
You
figured
are their type.
maybe most no, white men are not my
No,
type.
you
No
are
offense
their
to white
type.
men.
Yeah, like,
No,
or
I genuinely thought it's because like most women when they enter Tinder, they have the perception of getting a sugar daddy.
ah,
So that is why geographically, even despite me swiping left to white men, I still get white men, I still get Indian men, and I don't get it because I've never swiped right to a white guy or an Indian guy. I don't know their mechanisms. So how like
Indians watching this, Debbie does not like you.
no, I have no problem with white men. It's just that I like they're not my preference. So
So
like
let's just talk.
I genuinely
But what don't you like about white men? Apart from probably the rumors of penises. What else?
it's just the unfamiliarity. And then I always think, were we talking about this? The fact that whenever I see white men in Africa, I'm usually like, what have you done? What are you coming to do here? I always have a bias. Like,
Towards
should have stayed back home. Because the last time they were here, horrible things happened. I maybe it might be a bias, but it's just that I'm unfamiliar
with them
with the
culturally,
cities.
socially, etc.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know. Like for me, I only saw one suggestion of a white lady. I hated Tinder. I
Tinder
hate
is
it.
the ghetto.
No, I hate dating apps in general. Like dating apps that are designed to be dating apps, right? Like, like I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. There's something off about it, yeah. Because you swipe based purely on physical attraction, which again, like, it's almost like
Yeah,
real life, yeah.
yeah.
But in real life, you are limited by choice, right?
Mm.
Um, choice, social class, etc., whatever, right? And then after that, you are supposed like maybe to talk to this person on DMs, like get to know each other. And always, I like, what do you type first? I liked how big your boobs are. Like it sucks, like because
And
anything.
someone would be offended and they've put their boobs on their profile. So you're like,
No, but the issue is, yeah, like I swiped on you purely on the. I only read like the first thing, well, the design of the screen, right? And this again is the issue of the medium in which by which we use, right? So
yeah.
like you use a phone. The phone is vertical, yeah. 3/4 of that screen is that person's image, and then the things in their bio are in the bottom third of the screen, right? Of course, the emphasis is on the
On the
larger
looks.
area that. So the reason I actually, if I wanted to be honest, yeah, you loving to cook has nothing to do with why I swiped. Yeah. Like in reality, yeah, it's how you look, and there are very few good ways of complimenting how people look without sounding creepy.
You see, like Bumble,
Mm.
what I like about Bumble is you can connect your account with your Spotify playlist.
Even Tinder.
So yeah, but Tinder is just the ghetto. I'm telling you, Tinder is the ghetto.
No,
Bumble is really good.
I'm
I
married
don't
now.
know if it's because it's more popular with people of my social class, or it's that it's not as popular as Tinder. The first dating app when people are starting is usually Tinder.
Yeah,
And then
because
most people are
it's
usually
famous.
like,
It's famous,
yeah,
yeah.
it's famous.
It's famous, yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Facebook of all dating apps.
Yeah,
You
true.
have to start there. Yeah. It's just that the more you use it and then you see so many people get catfished on Tinder. Not saying others don't,
But
but
see, you can verify your nini, your account on Tinder. For
yeah,
example,
but I can very use my sister's pictures on the dating app I'm
yeah,
using.
and even
Yeah,
she'll be willing to do the selfie for you, right? Like,
yeah.
okay, I get it. But for me, like, I don't know, like, I think the way the algorithms themselves, yeah. So like when we talk about algorithms, we're not talking OG algorithms, right? Because an OG algorithm is a number of steps towards a certain outcome, right? So that's an algorithm. It's a framework, like where, like a logic framework, basically. Like this happens, if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. If functions, right? It's an algorithm. But when you have ML, machine learning algorithms, right? So like we have the most common one is recommender systems, right? Because a lot of a lot of, it doesn't matter what site. That's why I said we can talk about Pornhub, Pornspeak, any pornography site, any dating site, any social media site. Like the recommender system does that job. It recommends things to you, right? So it learns.
Mm.
It improves itself over time. It improves your recommendation. It updates itself. Yeah, because again, like these things are businesses, so the main aim of the recommender system is to basically increase the revenue for the companies, right? And
Yes.
your
Can I ask
satisfaction
you a question?
your satisfaction as a user is so important for them, because like in case of social media is they want you to spend the most time so that you can see most ads. And because people are using a lot of ad blockers, etc., they started like
Yes.
offering like the premium experience on a social media site. On X, you can pay to have a blue check. On Meta, it's the same. Yeah. Like on Tinder, you can pay for gold, whatever, platinum, whatever new for it. And for them, that's their business. So like they show you like one person who swiped right on you, and then they're like, by the time I deleted that app, yeah, I think there were 100 and what nini on my Tinder that I could not see. Like the incentive is
Yes.
I should pay for
Pay.
the app, yeah, so that I can see these other people, right? Who swiped right. So it was like, because this is another experience I had. It became a game of it's a match. You wonder like if you swipe free, it will be a match, because when it's a match you can see who it is. When it's not, it just really, yeah. It's a match, like, but that's their business, and the algorithm's job is to optimize income for those companies. It's just that the best way to optimize income is aligning it with their purpose, which again allows for you to have a better experience on these things. But I think maybe men, if any man is listening up to this point, you can share and maybe share your experience on dating apps, because
Yeah.
like I think men and women, we have vastly different experiences. Debbie, how many people swipe right on you on average? Because
A number like
in a month,
50, 80.
80 in a month, a week.
No, in a month, like 40, 50 in a month.
Okay.
However, I can't see those profiles because I haven't paid for them. So I only get to see the ones that I have swiped
Matched.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
the ones you matched with. Yeah? So Bumble also works the same as Tinder, right? You swap right. The economic model is also same. What's the difference? What's the difference? Because you're saying Tinder is the ghetto. What's the difference? What's the defining difference between the two apps?
I think when I compare Tinder and Bumble, the algorithm on my Bumble is better. Like I swipe more right than in Bumble than on Tinder.
Do you meet with these people? Like, after what percentage of, let's say you like, so like you had 50 swipes, let's say you swiped right correctly on 10, so you have 10 matches. Out of 10 matches, how many people will you meet for a date?
Maybe two. Maybe two. Because most people who are on dating apps are not usually how do you say this? They're not usually there. They're usually on dating apps and then they leave. They're not online on most of the dating apps. So you find
But you
it
can't be online on a dating app. It's not Facebook, it's not Instagram. What, like you can only use it maybe 10
I
minutes
mean
a
you
day.
need to be consistent. Like if you're on a dating app, you need to be constantly checking your DMs.
Okay,
So
because
what was
again,
the purpose? You see, so
I,
most people have accounts. So many people have accounts on dating apps. They try it. Maybe they give up, they leave it. But you see, you've not deleted the account. So if I
oh,
come across
so
your profile, you see, if I come across your profile and maybe you had swiped right on my account, and then I come and swipe right, if you don't come and check your messages, then what happens?
Debbie,
So
Debbie,
you
what's your opening line? I'm very curious. Before you, because you've said like they have to check their messages. What's your opening line?
you'll have to know, you'll have to meet me there. But I don't know. I tailor make my opening lines. I'm not generic. I don't have one. One shoe doesn't fit all. So I tailor make based on what I have seen on the guy's account.
Do you think
More
there's
guys, uh,
question? Because now we've reached a point where we can tie this story up, right? Do you think like the person who you'd reply to their DM on Instagram is the same person you'd swipe right on Tinder? On
yeah.
Bumble or
Yes.
it's the same person?
Because I've not been the people we've talked, despite us not meeting, most of them have followed them on their IG and they're really good. Like I would have seen if I had seen their IG, I'd
You'd
be
have
like,
seen it.
oh, nice. But I wouldn't have approached them. That's the
Okay.
difference.
Because dating app makes it easier for women to approach people, right?
Yeah.
Because again,
Yeah.
like you are sure like the reason you are here is because you want someone, right? Or depending on
Yeah.
whatever the parameters of wanting them, you want someone. So it makes it easier. Like, is it because women in general are risk intolerant?
Yes, that is the case. We need security. I have approached niggas who have liked. But before I approach them, I usually look at if they're looking at me. There's some form of security I'm given when I approach a guy. Like it's a situation whereby I've seen this guy, he looks like a nice guy. He's the type of guy if I told him I liked him, even if he'd put me down gently. He wouldn't be like
If
like even if my heart would be bruised,
it
it's
won't
a nice bruising. Like it's not like
see
yo,
violence.
you think I could date you? I can't go for a dude. My ego can't take it. I
Let
think
me,
me,
let
I've
me
gone to a dude. I've been like, hey, you look nice. I've been checking you out. If we could go for a couple of dates. Most dudes are like,
in Kenya,
no.
do people go
But
to a couple of dates?
kwani which Kenya are you in?
Mimi na
So kwenda urupa kapo kwa ni nini date?
yeah, like, but my question is, yeah, there's this meme. I don't remember the name of this lady who was saying like, date is a waste of time. Call me to your home. No, but my experience as a Kenyan is Kenyan women don't like dates, or at least
Really?
they don't like the Western idea of a date.
Yes.
Like the Western idea, like you go sit down, eat in a restaurant, like there's only a certain category of like, and it's not general. Yeah? I think majority of them will be very happy with come over than let's go out. Come over, ma. If you are going out, let's do something and it's physical. I think Kenyans get bored sitting
Is
down.
it that or like Kenyan men are complacent?
No, it's not like.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I think like it's complicated for Kenyans, right? Because Kenyans have huge socioeconomic gaps, right?
Yes.
But at your home, you have control over a lot of things. And I think also ladies don't want to feel the disappointment of having an expectation and then umepelekwa fish and chips.
But you see, it's the same. If that is the case, if I go out on a date in your guy's home and I have bad sex, what happens? And it's the
But it's
first
okay,
date.
the sex was hard. Like, like I think it
You
was
see,
not.
that is the difference between now you guys and us, women. Because us will be like, that is just a wasted body count. Because what is that? What is that?
Okay, my
So,
question is you go out
hmm,
on a date with someone, how would you measure their need?
you
Because
don't.
you can still go on a date and it turns out work.
You see, sex is mental first, right? If, for example, Sichach, you meet a girl, she's pretty, but you've not had conversations with her. And then you ask her out on a date. And maybe you go somewhere, you eat, or you invite her over. And everything you're saying, she looks very uninterested. what happens? Will you not?
Okay, I'm going to answer this. Like,
Exactly.
no,
Exactly.
no, I would. Listen, I would, right?
My God.
I'll just assume I'm masturbating. It will feel rapey, but because again, my question is, why is she here? Like, because
Maybe she thought she was giving you a chance. But
but you don't
instead of you putting her in an environment outside your home, but they don't understand niggas.
no like
Why would you
my
take
question is,
a girl you've just met into your space like that for a first date? Why do that?
and a lot of times the ladies are the ones who say ni invite, right? They don't say nipeleke date. In short, they already know like what they want from that. Yeah.
So this is the thing. She's not told you invite me to your place.
David, ni invite. Like, where else am I inviting you? I don't own the restaurant. Like,
It's
if
like,
if someone wanted you to take them on a date, yeah, they would tell you nipeleke date, right? Take me to a date. Kenyan women are very direct. Take me to a date. They say, like, my experience is people say what they want. Yeah,
yeah.
people say what they want. Yeah, and I think there are a few people I know, yeah, who would like a date, but
But
majority of the people I know, they'd like a date after that first invite. Like, after that, that's when they are like, okay. Yeah, because I think that's what you test, right? Like, first, can I live with the quality of sex? Yes. Okay, then I'd like to know you. I like to know you after
but
that.
I have met women who they feel like, and they're Kenyan women. Yes, they want sex, but they can't directly tell the nigga that they want sex. So they keep on hinting.
I'm lifting my bra up, the audience.
Yeah.
Okay, so like no, like, and that's the issue, right? Because like someone wants the sex, yeah, they can't say it, and then you are here busy planning dates, picnics, and what, and ah, I hope there's another Kenyan man listening to this and they'd back me.
No, I
The
generally
only
think
thing
like
you'll
the
come,
Kenyan dating
the,
scene is
the only thing that will
is
come out
going
of that
to. Oh,
is
sorry.
kuitwa simp. Kenyan women don't like romantic people. Like,
What? No, we do.
yeah, you
Kenyan
like
women like
romantic
romantic
people
people.
after you already like them. Like, what can I say? Like, it's not that you are unromantic, yeah, but you are direct. You like
Yes.
direct. Like, there's a certain time period, yeah. We can't go on. Like, there's a certain time period if you have not shown sexual interest, yeah, immediately friends, right? Like, and I promise you, it's less than 2 hours. I know
Is
people,
it
people are not
why
Kenya, but basically mtu anakwambia maua nitachuna huko town.
by the come?
Baby. Eh? Like, I think we have very, what can I say? Like, because again, what you're forgetting is the Kenyan dating scene is the way it is because women are the gatekeepers. Whatever women set the standards of dating as, that's what the standards of dating in that area will be. If I have to take you to a date, I'd always take people to dates. Like, you are the gatekeepers, right? And I told you, men conserve energy. We are lazy. Yep. So, if if the
Yeah.
first if the first text is ni invite, then we all know what you are saying, right? We all know what it is.
Okay, let me ask you as a Kenyan man. So when the girl is like, invite me to your place, what does that entail? Like, what does that mean for Kenyan dude?
Okay. she's coming to, this is my thinking. I don't think immediately we are going to have sex, right? But there's a chance of sex, right? It depends on her perception of my space, basically, right? So if my space has the right vibe, the right energy, I've become romantic, I've done something romantic, like I've made effort, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's likely to go well, right? And then after that, that's when you'll hear someone say, oh, ended it, right? Like, 20 days. Like, I think it's a more personal approach to knowing you than going out to a restaurant. Yeah.
So you feel like it's not completely a facade, but there's a form of facade if we do the Western way of dating.
Like, it feels like, okay, there are people who do it, yeah, because they, okay, ama again pia inaweza kuwa a impact, an experience ya social class, generation, age, like inaweza kuwa, right? That it could be the reason that this is how my experience has been. But I know a lot of Kenyan women who, like, they don't like to waste time.
Yes.
Like, yeah, they don't like to waste time. Yeah. Like, you better show that sexual interest immediately. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, immediately.
We
So
can give an example like in campus. You remember we had Ugandans, we had Nigerians, but Kenyan women were seen as more outgoing or they fuck a lot, basically.
it's the directness. Like, we are, I think, even as a people, we are very direct. Our language is so direct. Like, someone tells you something you want to, you are not sure if you laugh, you should laugh or take them to a police station.
You can imagine.
Like, it is the experience. I think it's the Kenyan experience. Just look at how we've made a detour from our topic here. But that's
Yeah.
also question, when let's say, like, you get someone from a dating app, right? Or like now, because you said, like, it's the same people. If this person DM'd me on Instagram, I'd be down, right? Does it affect your dating on the ground? Do you like the same people on the ground? Like, let's say this person is not on a dating app. For example, I want to give a bad example. Yeah? Like, if let me tell you from my end, ndio usinifanye simp kwa stream. Yeah? But during those times that I was swiping, if I saw you, I'd have swiped right without
Yeah.
knowing you, right?
Yeah.
And I still think, even on a person-to-person approach, I'd still approach you. Yeah?
Mm.
So I'm like, but I'm not sure. It's strange. I have never actually dated someone who is light skinned. Like, okay, in Kenya, Debbie is light skinned. I know in other countries she's black, but
Yeah.
in Kenya, Debbie is light skinned. Yeah? So I'm like, but you know what? My porn tastes match the women I date.
Mm.
Small body, dark skinned ladies. Just that. Like, they're not big at all. Petite.
I think it's the same with. Have you seen Kanye West tweet lately? He's
No, no,
been
no.
uploading a lot of porn.
Yeah, like on X. I saw it. I saw people commenting on it, but I don't like.
Yeah, and those
But
women really look like the women he's been dating.
and that's why I'm asking, like, because I'm saying, like, if I saw you on Tinder, I'd swipe, but I'm more likely to date my pornography image. The
Mm.
algorithm, the porn algorithm is correct with me.
Not really. For me, not really.
Have I dated someone light skin? No.
I've only dated someone light skinned once, and
Okay.
that's not my preference.
Do you swipe? Okay. Do you
Okay,
swipe?
for like my dating apps, the most guys I swipe right on are dark guys. Dark guys are not very tall by the people. I've only dated people my height.
Yeah,
I've
that's why I
never
know I'm your type.
dated, I've never dated people who are like 6 foot. Never. So I don't know.
Like, so even when they are on a photo without anything to measure their height, you still have a sense like this is a tall person, this is the height I'd want, etc. You're the first lady I
Yes.
hear you don't date tall people.
It's something I would want, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Okay, I'm not. I can't. Okay, I can't marry a dwarf. That I'm
No,
sure.
no,
And I have nothing against those people. Lucky msinikuje kwa comments. Don't come for me in the comments. But like naturally how I go
Debbie,
for guys. I
Debbie,
usually guys who are my height.
Debbie, can I ask something? Yeah. Do you
Mm.
think like you have a dick size criteria when dating people? When
Big
choosing
size.
physical, yeah. Like, for example, right, statistically, a dwarf will have a small dick, right? Indians, the people you've said that you don't date, Indians.
What? Yeah, we can do that.
Like, I'm asking because the way I hear you are disqualifying people.
You're getting to know my sexual preferences. But let me ask, let's go back, kidogo. There was a time on TikTok that most parents were being told to stop posting their children on TikTok because a lot of pedophiles are
Pedophile.
online. Yes. Let me ask, where do they get pedophilia content? And how does the algorithm work that it
because because
connects?
because they have to be getting it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But that's a tough question to ask. One, if I'd known the answer, that's self-incriminating. But I don't know.
It would be very incriminating.
Yeah, but
But
I don't
yeah,
know. But this is what I'd guess, right? I think there are sites on Tor that you can access any type of whatever gets you
porn.
there, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
like I think there are sites that are catering for these people. I don't know how to get them. I'm not saying this as a way of cleaning my image. No, I'm not sure. But I believe like the world is so rotten that that has to happen. You know what Rule 34 is, right?
No, I don't know what Rule 34 is.
Rule 34 is this, yeah? Anything you can imagine of on the internet, there's a porn for it.
Damn.
Like it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what really.
No, it's sad because men can fuck anything.
No, women too fuck anything. Like I've no, like we are human beings.
Now I'm fighting for the ladies.
No, like
I genuinely think
I know women. Like I also know women, so I'm like
I'll send you the link. You put it in the description. It's a TikTok video that was saying there was a brothel in an Asian country. I can't remember if it's Indonesia or something. And they took this orangutan, this type of monkey,
yeah, I know.
and they taught it how to dance. And men would just come and fuck it because of curiosity so that they can see.
Because there is a hole. I think men have challenges with holes. A man sees a hole,
Oh my
they want to
god.
put their dick in it.
Oh my god. What is that?
But it's
It's
disgusting.
not like they didn't have options of ladies there, but they're like, let's try it.
But
So
who owned the brothel that had an orangutan as a client?
I
Like
don't know.
how did they find out people would want to fuck it? Because this
I
has
really don't. And how do you come to that thought process?
and I'm saying this has to be
Maybe I should
something
put
that
an
is
animal
very
here.
yeah, this is something that has to be very data driven, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe people factor they know of someone who fucked an orangutan and then they're like the market has to be bigger.
Oh my God. So they are doing business. Hey, man. But
But
there's so many ethical implications.
yeah, I know, like I know we are talking about this thing quite lightly, yeah? But I'm like
Yeah.
because okay, because you've handled. Hey, I don't know if this video will be monetized. This is tough, but we are just going to share it. I don't know if YouTube will allow it there, but hey, I'm just going to ask this. Yeah. So, like my question is, yeah, do you think like people did do the people who start wanting to who become pedophiles, yeah, because I don't think like it's something that I'm not going to do with that I was born a pedophile thing, no, right?
No.
Like
Yeah.
we have to admit that there are some things that are acquired tastes, right?
Yes.
Because do you think like maybe they went to maybe a vanilla site like Pornhub, right? Because it's vanilla, like it's the mainstream company, right? And then like they were into pictures, into teen pictures, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a rabbit hole where like they reach to children. And then after you've consumed this type of content, you start finding children sexually attractive.
If that is your question, would that mean that their morality compass is very fluid? Is
No,
it possible that a morality compass can be fluid?
no. I think, okay, I'm going to say this, yeah? And this is not in defense of any pedophile. I think I have to be very explicit in that. I think men are obsessed with youth, right?
Men are obsessed with
Youth. Like,
ah
uh, like uh, they like young people, right? So, like, once, so you'll find, that's why let's say, as much as let's say someone like Leonardo DiCaprio is, it's weird, like 25 is his age limit, yeah.
yes,
But it's
yes,
very normal, right? It's very normal. Like even 50-year-old men will want a 22-year-old, 21, 23, like around that. I don't know if men like destroying innocence. Maybe there's something in that psychologically, right? Yeah, is it power or is it innocence? But the other
I
question is,
think
yeah,
it's
the other
power.
the other question is people who watch, let's say, MILFs, female boss, because I think the people who watch female boss are different from the people who watch secretary. The setting is the same,
Yeah.
and actually you might find the same clip has been named differently. But yeah, like that difference in the title makes a difference for them. Do you think this like I think when it's female boss it's they like what to be dominated? Is it a power
Yes.
or is it like is it corrupting power? Because also like people may be corrupting power, right? Because again, I know I'm looking at this with a lot of psychological damage from, like I'm talking from a damaged psychology in the sense that like either you are destroying innocence, because I think that's what someone who is a pedophile is doing. It's not
Yes.
control. It's the death
Mhm.
of innocence, right?
Yeah. But why would someone want to strip away someone's innocence?
No, like my question is, yeah, I think it's very I don't know. Like, because why would I be more attracted to, I'm 31. Why would I be more attracted to a 22-year-old than a 29-year-old?
Mm.
Right? It's very
That would be
common in men.
control.
Is it control?
That would be control.
Is it control or is it, because it's not like, Debbie, it's not like if I date a 28-year-old, 29, 30, yeah, I'd lose control.
Um,
It's not like that.
but
Because
You see,
Imagine a 50-year-old man, right? So let's say someone is in their late 50s, so 55 upwards, yeah? They still don't go for women in their upper 20s. And if it's control, they have control up to a woman who is 40 years old. So that's my argument against control.
I genuinely think, okay, I'll give an example. I dated a guy who was 11 years older than I was. And I hated the experience. I always thought because he was older, he knew more. He knew more, but it wasn't coming from an intelligence perspective. It was always coming from my friend, or this is how I went. This is how I did things. You
So
see, but that is not an
it's
intellectual
experiential, yeah?
perspective because you need to tell me why it went wrong. It's not about an age thing. And then you have to contextualize your situation. Like, you can't always say we were this, like me being 22 and him being 22 few years ago were not the same thing. So what it felt in the relationship was like I was losing myself because I'm the type of person who likes to be edified by what do you know? How did you come to that thought process? While him, I'm sorry to say, he was a damn nigger. So Nile, like
Again,
when
but
I was dating,
isn't that your
when
fault
we
to
were
date
dating,
someone dumb? Like,
by there
you
he
knew they
was
were dumb.
dumb.
You knew it. So, like, and you see, like, there are women who will not mind a dumb person because
But
they don't define themselves on their intellectual value is not, they don't value intellect that much. They value, let's say, performance, experience, stability. Because Debbie, you value intellect, right?
I
I've known you for a while, and I'm like, you value intellect. But
yeah,
because you've brought up something interesting, yeah? Do you think like for him it was about control?
yes, to a
Because
point. It was
you've said
about power.
you were losing yourself, yeah? So
Yes.
is it control or is it the death of, is it killing someone? Because
Okay.
yeah, like there are people who control people, yeah? And there are people who want to kill whatever you are. Like
Mm,
they want to fundamentally change you, and that's why I've said like it's the killing of innocence, it's the death of innocence. Yeah. Now, because again, have I ever dated someone who is older than me?
tell us.
No. I'm remembering. I have the names on a list in my head. No, like I think the older I've become, the bigger the age gap has become, which might be creepy.
Me, the older I've become, the more younger dudes are hitting on me. Now I'm finding 21-year-olds hitting on me, especially
And
on social
now,
media.
is it because you are a mumamas to them? And then
I
again,
do.
we come. No, we come to Nini. We come to the people who watch secretaries and the people who watch bosses. Right? I'm talking from a male perspective. Maybe you can share the female psychology on the same. Right?
Okay.
So, like, the people who watch secretaries, MILFs, etc. Right? Do you think like for them what is it about? What is their, because I think in reality, yeah, pornography really tells you who you are,
Mm,
your psychological template, yeah, your
yeah.
relationship with power, your relationship with control, your relationship with, like, the, it tells you what your shadow is, like what you couldn't say out loud, yeah,
Mm,
you say it easily, you say it easily through your actions on such a site, because it's something that's secret. I've never gone to someone's house and they have their porn on TV blasting on their sound system. Like, it's never
yeah.
like that. It's usually
Yeah.
earphones in a room in the smallest screen.
Mm,
Yeah. So
yeah.
like
True.
I'm asking, is it because like what does it say about these people? Because you're saying like you're getting hit on by 21-year-olds, right?
Yes, yes,
You don't look 21, meaning they know you are not 21.
yes.
They might not know how old you are, but they know you are not 21. Now, and like when you minus economics, what do you think makes them attracted to you?
Of course, what has attracted them is my face card. However, I genuinely think,
Okay, I'm not laughing because it's I'm laughing because of their arrogance. What?
but I genuinely think there are people who like being dominated in bed.
Do you
And
dominate
they
people in
don't
bed?
mind a woman who is older dominating them.
But they'd mind an agement.
You see, the thing with dudes who are young are fucking older women, they can still fuck their age mates or people who are younger than them.
So it's a novel experience for them. Like it's
It is,
something new, right?
yes. It's not like men who are in their 50s can date women who are in their 50s, but they just choose not to. They'd go for the younger, the better.
And that's why I was saying, do men like to kill innocence?
It might be so.
Because
We
like I
need a
think
proper a
psychologist.
sex psychologist. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so like it's so deep, it's strange, right? Because
Yeah.
the hardest industries to kill are pornography and prostitution. Because these two things provide an avenue to express your deepest desire without shame.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever been to a strip club?
Yes. But
Strip
I
club.
didn't even.
And I didn't go to a high-end strip club. It wasn't high-end in any way. It was dingy. Like when you enter the strip club, it's dark. Yani, the hall is. And what I can tell you, I've gone with friends most of the time, and I can tell you, whenever we tip them, because they're rarely tipped either way, because they're dingy places, they tend up to open up mostly about how life has been so harsh to them.
But unaona, their
And
clans are different, right? Because what's that?
yes,
That's pity, right? It's pity.
yes.
When you go to a different strip club, they are not selling pity.
But they can't sell pity in a
They sell,
high-end strip club.
yeah, they sell an ear, right? They play on your honiness and like accessibility. Like I'm accessible to you. You like, yeah, like the dynamic is different because you can sell pity, David. Like you can sell pity, yeah. Because again, like, and I think the psychology is still the same. The people being told this, they feel like, naeza toa huyu hapa, right?
See, that is the thing. Hata kimtoa hapo, even if they get the perception that he can help her, she will still go back to that strip club.
Yeah, it's
But
her
this
job.
was my point.
Yeah?
This was my point. They weren't doing that to men. They were telling us, ladies who are there.
Okay, is it
You
because?
see, now that's the
Okay, do you
difference.
think it's sexual? I think, yeah, it's what? Like I think it's judgment. Women are socially conscious than men, or the consequence of someone looking down upon you as a woman are worse than if you are a man. So like
Yeah.
they see women, they feel like they are being judged maybe, and they feel like they need to defend themselves. But again, like in a high-end strip club, will they talk like that?
That's the question.
Because I don't think.
But are they allowed to talk like that
No,
in high-end strip
no,
clubs? They're not?
no.
Yeah. You see, strip clubs from like low end strip clubs, they don't have a lot of strict rules, but hygiene is on top. But like about how you converse with a customer, they're really not trained to do that. Because you see, girls who strip for high-end strip clubs, most of the time they were high-end escorts, and that is a whole different
Ama,
ball game.
it's the first, like it's the like they don't want to do the escorting, but they are willing
Yes,
and they are not sure if it's something they want to do, right? Because
yeah,
I read, like, but it was such a long time. I don't know if I can get that. It was an article in, I don't know if it was Nation. Yeah, they were talking about
yeah.
this lady who strips, and then like she's a banker, and then she says like the amount of money I make in a night, yeah, is more than my salary after a month. Yeah, and you are like,
Maybe I should be a stripper.
baby, you're already exposing yourself on the internet emotionally. You can only be a prostitute once. Do it everywhere.
Do you know,
You can do it
someone
everywhere.
sent me a link of escorts, and
Do
there
you
was
think
no chick who was below, who was above the age of 25.
No, they are. I can. Okay, I know these things. I'm sorry, but but you are not like. What can I tell you? It's the same way people say like artists can never grow up above 25 years. Like as a musician, you can't be above 25 because immediately people know your age. Your music
Yeah,
feels different to them. Actually, it and again, I think that's what happened to Drake, right? Like he stayed 25 for too long until people started questioning.
hey, no, no.
But the idea is, yeah, like you are always 25 so that like you can do the bangers. Because
Yeah,
when now, like, if I decide like, okay, I'm becoming a rapper tomorrow, yeah, I'm not going, like, people expect like certain deep music from me, yeah, but
yeah,
I really want to rap about us.
yeah,
So I'm not going to tell people how old I am, except
yes.
like now I've told them because maybe they'll watch this podcast. But the good thing is somewhere after 20 minutes, no one ever watches these things.
No, people will watch.
Yeah, okay, like at that point they will, yeah. But that's why you don't hear a lot of artists saying their ages, and I think escorts do the same. Debbie, if you tell someone you are 24 for a night and this person is 45 or 50, I promise you they'll buy it. They'll believe it. Yeah.
All I have to do is be naive, right?
Because again, if you become naive, like I think you'd do poorly if you lose your. I think you would attract a certain client. You know Ayla. You should check out Ayla. Yeah? She's check out her ex. Yeah?
The fairly.
Ayla. Like she's that intellectual style escort. It has its own audience. Like
Yes,
if let's say I'm bored at home, I'm not the type of person who would like a beam. I'd like to hang out with someone who has a brain. I'm not saying these other escorts who play that role don't have a brain, yeah, but they choose not to use it in a certain way, so that like they can attract certain clients. And that's why I've said the bimbo thing works for people who want to kill innocence. That's who it
yeah.
works. I'm so convinced it's death of innocence. Or
We
at
need
least,
a, we need to do a part 2 of this episode.
yeah, and we need a psychologist. I'll call Nasim,
Yeah.
and then I shouldn't have mentioned her. I'll edit that out. But I'll call her, and then we see if she can accept to be a guest. Yeah, because I think this is so, like, porn and sex is so what, it's so fundamental to what we are. Like it's animal instinct.
Mm.
You like what you like, and that's it. There's nothing you can do about it.
Mm.
Like that's it. Yeah. Because I'm asking myself a lot of questions. Yeah. Because as we were talking, I was like, what do you think it's like, David? Let's say like do you think women who like to sleep with younger men, what's their psychology as a woman? What do you think? Is it?
The psychology usually is he doesn't know much. I'm gonna teach him. It's gonna be based on my terms. I am in control because I can demand as many rounds as I want. I'll have sex the way I want it. Of course, there's an element of reciprocation, but it's a matter of control. I don't think if a 22-year-old would mind being pounded on with a very gorgeous 35-year-old. Don't think so. Men are very simple creatures.
No, like, okay, yeah, like, but my issue is, this is my question, I think, and it plays well to templates, right? To personality templates, especially when you do averages of what's the need that women crave for most, right? So it's safety, security. The problem with safety and the trade-off of safety and security is control.
Yeah, it's control. You
That's
see, someone.
that's the going concern. Like, that's what you lose when someone is able to provide you safety and security. By the definition of the word safety and security, it means you are locked up in some way, right? So, like, if that's what you are missing, you are likely to find control attractive, because for men, what we miss is what do men miss. So that, like, we want to kill. What do men miss so that they want to kill innocence? I don't know. But for
You see,
women,
for
like,
women,
it's me. Yeah?
women who go for younger dudes, they find safety and security with their emotions. They know this will not go anywhere. They know they're able to control their emotions with this dude. They won't feel manipulated per se, as if they were dating a guy who's their age mate or
Or
older
older.
than them.
Because
Yeah.
I think the best example for men is someone who is attracted to older women, right?
Yes.
Because for them, it's about losing control. It's the opposite. Like, for men, you are expected to have your shit together a lot of times. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
so, like, when someone can have their shit together on your behalf,
Yeah.
like, it
They
works.
share that responsibility. They take away some of that
It's
responsibility.
the responsibility. Like, you are no longer the person who needs to do things.
Yes.
I think the psychology matches that way. But and I think the rest of the relationships now become hypergamous, which is what we consider a norm, right? So,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
older dudes, a younger lady,
Yeah.
like, that's hypergamous a lot of times, right? But because I'm thinking, like, so do you think, like, when people watch pornography for where the authority is lopsided, yeah? Where it's not hypergamous, do you think, like, it's a way to live out, like, almost like adrenaline rush their,
Fantasies.
yes, like, honor, or the thing they don't want in their life, right? Like, for example, like, I don't know, like, since I got married,
Let me ask.
since I because I'm,
When
huh? Pardon?
let me ask. When a man is watching porn, who does he watch? In a heterosexual type of porn.
And okay, that's a deep question, because I'm not sure if you watch someone else or the person on the screen.
Because for women watch women. Like most women,
Watch
when they are watching porn,
they watch how other
they
women
are
are.
looking at the manhood, but they're really looking at the chick, because
I think
that is what.
also men watch women, if that was the question. Like, it's easy. Okay, a
So you see,
heterosexual.
the psychological aspect is a bit different, because
Yeah,
you'd think women are watching men mostly, but we are watching women. That's why most women, even straight women, watch a lot of lesbian porn.
yeah, lesbian porn is so popular. Like, I think it's the most popular genre. Yeah, because men and women watch it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, it's not about someone being lesbian. Yeah, like
No.
I think, what is it? Because again, even socially, women are closer to women. Like
Yeah.
your physical boundaries are closer, right? So is it because women react better, or is it because women bring out the emotional aspect of it? Because again, I think for men it may feel like they are doing a job.
But you see, for porn is porn, there's no much emotion. It's like women want to see what they usually feel.
That's
You
what
see what you usually feel.
and men watch
It's I
women
have
for
a I
different
have a
reasons.
friend, I have a girlfriend whose sexual preference is not norm. So how she enjoys gay sex. She really enjoys gay sex, but she is bi.
That would be
You
the
see,
worst person for me to date. Like, I'm not doing a threesome with another man. Like,
but she told me the reason why she enjoys gay sex is the fact that she feels it's more sincere. So maybe her idea of how porn or
oh,
sex was introduced to her was the man was so aggressive. But it doesn't mean gay porn isn't aggressive, but she just feels like it's more
it's honest.
intentional and
It's honest
sincere. Yeah.
because
Like she feels like they're coming on the same plate,
okay,
if that makes sense. Yeah.
it does. Like so, like, but so for her, porn is not about okay because again it becomes psychological, doesn't it? Right?
Yes.
Is it because like she in her life, like the sexual encounters, especially her being bisexual, there was a time when it was not sincere. Like it was not what she wanted; it's what was being done.
I don't know.
Like, is it that like? Because again, I think we are onto something here, Debbie. Like, no, we are like. I think the
Yeah.
statement will be: "Show me your porn, I tell you who you are."
Yes.
We have a new title, right?
What if it's the fact that deep down there's a, I don't want to say hate, but she really hates the misogyny that comes with men. So misogyny for her maybe looks like anything that has a dick. So maybe she derives pleasure from watching gay porn.
Because men cannot be like you can't have the gay joke when you are gay, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it doesn't matter if you are a top or a bottom. Either way, like there's no gay joke there. Like it's humility.
Yes, yes.
It's humility, right?
Maybe she just hates the power dynamic. And maybe that those are one of the reasons even maybe why she's bi, because women have been very present to her and have fulfilled most of her needs, even sexually. So maybe,
For a bi
but I
person,
don't know, like it's complex.
yeah, it's complex, and that's the problem. Human beings are complex, right?
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
we figured it out. You show me your porn, I tell you who you are.
I think that should be the episode's title.
Yeah, show me your porn, I tell you who you are. Because
Yeah.
like we really like we really hide what we watch, especially when it's sexual. And I think it also affects the way people communicate in a marriage so much. Yeah. Because
Mm,
you're not sure what your partner is never going to be honest about what they like.
yes.
So you only do what you do. Like what you think they like. Well,
Mm,
because like even if we're talking about porn, yeah, I'm not going to tell you all the genres of porn I like, right?
yes.
Because I
Yeah.
think it's like you feel like you're exposing so much of who you are, and in a relationship,
Parts of you that you don't want to be aware of.
yes,
You can't admit.
you don't want to be aware of those parts. You don't want to admit like I am this person, and worse, I have always been this person.
Mm.
That just like that's different. Yeah, like I think we need a psychologist on this.
We do need a professional.
Yeah, we are, I'm not equipped to need this because all we can do is bumble into discoveries, right? Yeah, we just talk until we find something that's profound within our speech. Yeah. But I'm like, we are looking at started with algorithms and how they affect
Yeah,
our sexual expectations, sexual
preferences.
taste. Yeah?
Yeah.
And then we are here now talking about how like it's psychology, right? And this like this brings an issue, a challenge, yeah, with our discussion. So, do algorithms understand who we are better than we do? Are we that simple? Are we that data? Yeah.
I think mm, it
Because
knows that, but it tries. It can't. How do I say it? It can't showcase all of you.
no,
If
but
that's
but
the case.
well, if my Instagram algorithm, yeah, and you've said your Instagram algorithm, your Tinder algorithm, yeah, and your Pornhub algorithm, yeah, all bring you to the same type of people, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
the only challenge is first they bring you to the same type of people, and then like now, when the problem is now you can't communicate to these people what you like, except statistically, because it's a statistical match, right? They'd be okay with anything you say because they are the
Mm,
people who the algorithm chose for you. Yeah, this
yeah.
profile of person will match with you. Meaning, once you got into a porn rabbit hole, yeah, you will end up with the same sins. I
Mm.
think before people, I think before people get married, they should share their Pornhub account.
When they're going for counseling, they need to show their nini,
Like no,
their
like
Pornhub history.
not even counseling. Yeah, just like before marriage. Yeah, like that week before the wedding. Yeah,
Hey,
it's
damn.
not history.
Some people won't get married.
No, but
Maybe the person you want to marry is watching sex with someone having sex with a monkey, and you're like, where? I can't metamorph their different species.
siwezi kuwa monkey bwana.
Hawezi kuwa monkey mimi. Eh, no, ma.
Ama, ama,
Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe.